Good morning everybody. It is Sunday the 19th of January today, and as you can see, down a small river again. This is another tributary of the Avon. It's about 11:30, something like that, and it's proper frosty, as you can see. First proper frost of the year, first proper frost of winter that I can remember. The river's in a reasonable condition. I've been out for a while. Well, actually I say that, I did go out for about an hour and a half after work one evening, and didn't do very well at all. As you can see here, I did just pop out for, as I say, hour and a half. It's still very mild. I went to a stretch where I was aware there was the odd barbel and some nice chub. Did 2 or 3 swims, but to be honest, I didn't get a bite, nothing at all, nothing doing. And started to chuck down the rain, so that was me done really for that session. As I say, hour and a half, something like that. Got very wet, didn't get a bite, so that was a bit of a dead loss. So we're here this morning for perhaps 2.5 to 3 hours. I've got something like that. Sunday, bit of a family day. I've done all my things I need to get done this morning with the family, so I've got 2 or 3 hours free. So as I say, I've come down here. The water's fining down. It's sort of browny grey colour. It's perhaps about 3 or 4 inches of visibility, something like that. I did perhaps think I'd do some trotting, but I don't think conditions are very good for it. The water's still up, it's pushing through. I think we're better off doing a bit of either link ledger or feeder fishing. It's going to have a roam up this stretch. You can probably see it's fairly wooded in here. I think that'll be better because it's been very misty this morning. The mist's just starting to clear, sun's out, so I think perhaps we'll do better in the shaded area. We have a better chance. There's probably maybe a dozen pegs in here, 10, 12 pegs in this sort of wooded area, something like that. So I'm going to do a few pegs in here. Very simple tactics, as I say. I've just got a running ledger set up. I'll run you through that in a minute. Baits, bread, and I think maggots are going to be ordered day to day with the frost that we've had last night. It went down to -4 last night. It's my thermometer is telling me it's just about 0 at the moment. So without further ado, I think we'll get cracking. I'll run you through the gear and we'll have a go at a few of these swims. If you've seen any of the previous videos, you'll know that I do like using my shorter rods, especially on these smaller rivers. Absolutely love it. Feels a bit alien these days when I pick up a rod that's 11 foot long. But I've been using a lot recently, as you've seen, my Angling Direct RVS River Ambush 7-foot rod. Absolutely love it. However, it's got a built-in quiver tip, and it's not the lightest quiver tip, shall we say. And I'm thinking with the weather as it was last night with the frost, we may be getting a few finicky bites. So what I've done is I've bought a much finer rod today with me. It's a fairly new rod. I haven't had it very long. It's a Browning Black Magic Picker 2. Or the 8-foot version, as I say, I like short rods. Got 5-pound line on here, and I've got the lightest quiver tip on. I'm not sure exactly what sort of test curve quiver tip it is, but it is very light, very sensitive. It comes with 2, and it's the more sensitive of the 2. I would say it's about maybe 1.25 ounces, something like that, 1.5 ounces at the most. So I'm thinking that will give me better bite registration today. I'm going with my usual running setup. If you haven't seen it before, quickly run you through. If you have, skip on. What I've got on here is a bolt and run setup, bolt and run kit I should say. It's just a low resistance run ring there, and the bead that it sits over just protects the line there. You can use this in the bolt setup, but I don't tend to do that. I've just got a bead just above that, just to keep everything running nicely. Below that, on the main line, I have got one of these tail rubbers. It's quite long, as you can see. It's probably, I don't know, getting on 3 inches long, about 70mm, something like that. This is, I believe, Prologic. I'll put all the details of all this stuff down there. Now, I run this on the main line because it enables me to change my hook links, which I tie up myself, really quickly, because, and I don't need to put anti-tangle sleeves on my Hooklinks, and it's really quick change affair, because inside this is a Drennan quick change bead, the inside of a Drennan quick change bead, and that fits into this Prologic sleeve absolutely wonderfully, lovely and snug. Like I say, in the loop on my Hooklinks, I can change these really fast. My Hooklinks, as I say, I tie it myself. I tie everything size 12 hook, size 14 hook and above. I tie myself using Drennan fly leader Flurocarbon in either 3, 5 or 6 pound, depending on hook size and what I'm after, really. I tie all my hooks on. I do, when I tie my own, I always use, in the larger sizes, I use Korda curve shanks. I find them a wonderful hook when you put them on with a knotless knot. It's got a lovely aggressive hooking angle, and that's the setup. I do use shop bought Hooklinks, hooks for nylon I should say, and I will happily use those. I do tend to use the Drennan red maggot more than anything, and I think that's what I'm going to start on today. We'll start off, I think, on the maggot feeder. Pick this peg out first, swing you around. We've got a tree just upstream of us here that's breaking the current, but the current is still pushing through on sort of my third of the river. There's a bit of slack and a sort of eddy over the other side, a little bit of slack coming under my feet here, so it just looks nice. It looks nice for a bite, to be honest with you. I think that's enough talking. I'll get this Hooklink changed because this hook's far too big for maggots, and we'll get a bait in the water, see what happens. Well guys, I'm not doing very well at the moment. Haven't had a bite yet. Done a few swims as you've seen. I'm on my way up actually to a few pegs I've heard about that's free fishing. And I've just come around the corner and I remembered this swim, which I fished a few videos ago. Didn't manage to wangle a chub out of here, so I've literally stopped for 5 or 10 minutes just to see if we can't nick a bite in here before I go on up to these other pegs. I've been trying the black cap feeder with maggots, no joy. Been trying bread, got a little bit of cheesy garlic ground bait with me, with the colour of the water being like it is, just to get a bit of smell, but it's as hard going as I thought it was going to be. Never mind, we'll keep on. And the sun's gone in, it's gone all sort of foggy again, which can't be bad for sport. So fingers crossed we can get at least one bite and one fish. Fab, we've got one. How's about that? No monster, but very, very welcome on this very cold and foggy day. Fantastic. I'd almost given up hope, to be honest. I just, as you saw, dropped a bit of bread in under this scum raft, this foam raft, and had a knock and missed it. Put it back in, and there we go. Lovely conditions, right? Got a right belly on him. Fantastic. That's beautiful. He's absolutely like a block of ice. Right, I think give it another 5 minutes here, and then we'll head off to the other swims. Well, I've come up to this area I've been told is a free stretch. I've been a little bit further upstream. There's some lovely pegs up there, but unfortunately there's a guy fishing up there. I'm not going to go and disturb him, fish close to him on his sort of intimate little river. So I've dropped a bit further down and found this nice slack. But did have a little knock in here, but time's beaten me, I'm afraid. Need to go, need to be home before 3 o'clock. So I'm pushing it now. It's definitely time to go home. So all there is left to do is to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I've had a really nice time, despite the freezing conditions and the 1 or 2 bites. But we literally got a fish out. That's great. Really, really pleased. Enjoy your own angling. Hope you managed to get out there, despite the cold conditions that we look like we've got from here on in for a few days. But as they always say, you can't catch fish from on your sofa. And I will see you again very soon.